Let's take a look at problem number 12. Here we're going to multiply rational expressions. So let's refresh our memory on the steps on that. Okay, multiplying rational expressions. Excuse me. Now, specifically, we'll have problems we can factor using any of our different methods that we've looked at for factoring. And what you're going to do is factor everything. Let me just shorten it. So factor everything. So factor the numerators, denominators, factor everything. Step 2. Cancel if possible. The guideline is that 1 is on top and 1 is on the bottom, and they are the same. We're talking about the factors here. And then step 3, multiply the tops, numerators, multiply the tops, and multiply the bottoms, the denominators. Okay, so let's look at this one. Okay, so number 12. So we got 3x squared minus 7x plus 2 over x squared plus 6x minus 16 times x plus 8 over 4x minus 8. Now, our first step, factor everything. Well, this in our first fraction, this numerator here is a key number. The denominator is the Psd. Now, key number, x squared x, no x, there's a number for the x squared. Psd, x squared x, no number for the x squared. And this one here is a GCF. Well, let's look at each one of these separately over here. So I got 3x squared minus 7x plus 2. And with the key number, we take the number at the beginning times the number at the end, ignoring signs. 3 times 2 gives us 6. We come up with 3 columns. A product column, we list all the products, give us 6. We got 1 times 6, 2 times 3. And the S column, we add these together. 1 plus 6 is 7, 2 plus 3 is 5. And the difference column, we subtract smaller from larger. 6 minus 1 is 5, 3 minus 2 is 1. Now, the number we're looking for is a number in our middle term, the 7, which is right here. So we're going to use 1 and 6. And what we do is we rewrite our middle term using those two numbers. Our larger number in the P column, which is 6, is going to be the same sign as our middle term, which was negative. Since the number has circles in the S column, S for same signs, then if the 6 is negative, then the 1 will be negative, like that. Now, if a number has circles in a D column, it would be different signs. One would be positive, one would be negative. Then we factor by grouping. The first two terms have a 3x in common. Leaves me an x minus 2. Last group has nothing in common, but my first term's negative, so you factor out a negative 1. And that leaves me x minus 2. So this factors as x minus 2 times 3x minus 1. There we go. Now let's factor the bottom part. This is the Psd method. Got x squared plus 6x minus 16. Psd method, we take the number at the end, 16. We ignore signs and write it over here. And we're going to come up with 3 columns. The P column, we'll write all products, give us 16. 1 times 16, 2 times 8, 4 times 4. In the S column, we'll add those together. 1 plus 16 is 17. 2 plus 8 is 10. 4 plus 4 is 8. In the difference column, we'll subtract the smaller from the larger. 16 minus 1 gives 15. 8 minus 2 is 6. And 4 minus 4 is 0. Number we're looking for is the number in our middle term, which is 6, which is right here. Which means we're going to use 2 and 8 in our answer. Now our larger number in the P column, which is the 8, is going to be the same sign as the middle term always. Middle term is positive, so the 8 will be positive. The number I circled is in the difference column, D for different signs. So if this is positive, then this one has to be negative. Now the 4x minus 8, they have a 4 in common, so I can factor that out, and that gives me x minus 2. Okay. That was step 1, factor everything. Step 2, cancel if possible. Guideline is that one is on top and one is on bottom, and they are the same. Well, here's x plus 8, and here's an x plus 8. Those are going to cancel. Here's an x minus 2, and here's an x minus 2. Again, only guideline is one's on top, one's on the bottom. They don't have to be in the same fraction. They can be separate fractions or the same. Let's write down what we have left. I guess I have 3x minus 1 over 1 times 1 over 4 x minus 2. Now my next step says multiply the top, multiply the bottoms. Well, 3x minus 1 times 1 is 3x minus 1. Now some books are funny about this. Here we got 1 times 4, which is 4, and then x minus 2. Some books will leave it like this, and this will be your answer. I think this book actually goes further. They multiply the 4 through, so that'd give us 4 times x, which is 4x, and 4 times negative 2, which is negative 8. But let's see, my memory is not that, or not. This test bank came out of a different one. I should mention that. 3x minus. Oh, I guess they do leave the 4 out there. No consistency. D is in David. So this would be 12D. That matches.